Well, boys, today is tomorrow, and Pokimane is back in the news because you guys remember whenever she made a big stink last week? Alright, there was some guy that I'm assuming she was so madly in love with that didn't tell her flat out whenever they first met that he's in a relationship, even though he never portrayed himself not in a relationship, nor did she ask if he was in a relationship. But instead of her finding out he's in a relationship and just cutting off the conversation there. No, she decided, I need content for the week. Or I need content for the week. And then she started making these videos.
Tell me why this guy has been DMing me for months, trying to link up, responding to my outfit pics, etc. And he just announced his engagement on Instagram. And it pisses me off because it's in that gray area of like, I don't think that this warrants messaging the girl and being like, hey girl, but also it's fucking odd. Then again, maybe they're in an open relationship. I don't freaking know.
So yes, Pokimane met some random guy and perceived him as single whenever he was just being friendly with her, alright? But then instead of her just moving on whenever she realized, oh, he is in a relationship, she decided, oh, it's time to just ruin the whole entire relationship. Just ruin the whole entire relationship. Right? She is basically trying to portray this random guy to his girlfriend, or I guess now fiance, as cheating. Even though, again, she told you she thinks it's flirting. She thinks he's like trying to get in a relationship. Like she perceives him trying to date her. We're going to get into like the rest of that in a minute. But then people find out, right, that Pokimane doesn't have a problem with cheaters. She actually befriends cheaters, actually, chat, because there's a person that she's been messing around with lately. I guess making TikToks now. Maybe this might be her second hubby. I don't know. Named Ellum. And Ellum is a streamer. All right. He's not a terribly big streamer, but he's a streamer from the UK. And they make some TikToks together.
Lore drop, I have to introduce you to a reoccurring character in my life. This is Ellum. He's British. Ellum talk.
Hello.
He's tall.
I'm tall. Wait. You look so small.
Shut up. My part-time roommate. Now, what does that mean? He lived in the UK, then he wanted to move to LA, but he needed a roommate. Please stop hiding behind me. He needed a roommate, so I rent the second room in his apartment. But I have my own apartment that I stay there most of the time. Also, sorry I look crazy. I just got dental work done, so my face is numb, okay? Lastly, tell me your favorite thing about me.
You're just generally a really, really good friend to me. Actually, though, like I feel like whenever I need you, you're always there, and you're always just someone who will just hear me out.
Yeah, he doesn't realize that's like what a normal friend does. Who hurt you? Bye.
So yeah, whenever people saw this TikTok of Ellum and Pokimane together in his apartment, and she's supposed to be his quote-unquote roommate, but she doesn't live in her room in Ellum's apartment full time. Sometimes she comes over for a quick sucky, all right? We already know who Pokimane is. She's already been showing her ass. We're going to get into that. But whenever people saw this TikTok, they started to ask questions about Ellum, especially seeing that, again, Pokimane has a huge problem with cheaters, by the way, chat. Right? She had to expose a guy that was perceived as cheating on his girlfriend with her. She doesn't even know if he was trying to get in her pants. She doesn't even know. But she perceived it, and she had to blow up his whole entire life. So people ask, wasn't he dating Captain Puffy or not? And then Georgie says he was, and then he cheated on her, which is why he then moved to LA, because no one wanted to be his friend nor date him after he cheated. Now, Pokimane does respond to this literally a month later, because she actually uploaded this thing a month ago. So people were talking about this in her comments after she started blowing up on some guy she perceived was cheating on his girlfriend with her. So let's get into this other guy that she basically destroyed his life. All right, she basically destroyed his life, because you're gonna need this context for whenever she responds, because her response is such a goddamn hill turn. All right, she did a whole 180 whenever it's her friend now in the hot chair. So we talked about this the other day, top right hand corner, boys, if you guys haven't seen it, because she took a friendly conversation where she met this guy on a YouTube video set, And I guessing he was just like, hey, it's time to network. Yo, let me get everyone's context. Yo, what's up, Pokimane? What's up, XYZ person? And instead of her, asking, oh, well, you're kind of handsome. Are you single? No, she wanted to play the whole, I'm not going to say I like you game. This bitch is like 30 something, by the way, chat. She's playing the whole, I'm not going to say I like you game. Are you going to say you like me? I'm not going to say I like you game. So instead of her at least asking if he was single, she perceived he was single through his friendly messaging with her, saying that, again, in the content creator sphere, I'm like, you kind of have to be nice to people, especially people like Pokimane who wield a lot of influence in like the Twitch space or streaming space in general. But instead of her perceiving them as, possibly in a relationship, maybe you should ask. It's not that bad. If you like someone, just ask. It's better than what she's about to do. She decided, oh, he's about to get married, because she saw that he proposed to his fiance on the same Instagram account that they were messaging on. Again, I'm sure she probably could have just scrolled through his Instagram account and saw that he had a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I'm just saying here, he's posting the first picture ever of his girlfriend or now fiance on his Instagram account. Come on, Pokimane, come on. Come on. Make it make sense. He's posting the first time ever of her on his Instagram account, and it's him getting married to her. But before that, he was single. He never posted a single picture of her. Like, come on, make it make sense here, chat. Make it make sense here. So when she saw that, she became jealous, enraged at that, thinking that she was getting cheated on by this man. All right, she thought she was getting cheated on and the other one was getting cheated on. So then she decided, well, he didn't really flirt with me, but you know what? I'd rather ruin his marriage, and then blast it all over the internet. It is so weird how this woman always wants to be private with her dating life, but as soon as she feels slighted by a person she wasn't even in a relationship with, like they weren't even, I guess in her head, officially dating. In her head, they were like soft launching the dating. They were soft launching the relationship like it's some tech bro venture. She didn't even perceive that he could have a possible partner. So now she thinks, well, seeing that he lied to me by not telling me up front that he was in a relationship, even though we didn't flirt or even get into a relationship at all, I have to ruin his whole entire fucking online career by blasting this perceived slight against me all over my social media accounts.
I've had a bad week with men. Can I tell you about it? I have to whisper because there's people in my living room. For starters, let's talk about the guy that was trying to meet up with me who ended up being engaged. Right. Basically, we met on set for a YouTube video. We followed each other on IG. He'd respond to my IG stories. I would respond to his, very casual stuff. He kept inviting me to fly out to his state, but I don't do that. So I was like, if you're ever in LA, we can grab coffee. He ended up having a trip to LA. He asked for my number. We were gonna meet up, but I ended up being busy. He ended up leaving town early, so it didn't happen. We kept talking about like what we like to do for fun, places we've traveled, blah, blah, blah. And then, no joke, a month after we were gonna meet up, he posts his engagement on Instagram. Engagement. Mind you, he was still responding to my stories. Example, I posted a story, what kind of nails should I get done? He responded to that and goes, put my face on your nails. Right. And people told me I should really message his fiance. I spent a day crafting this message to her. Hey, I don't want to intrude, but your fiance was messaging me saying blah, blah, blah. I also don't want to make her feel bad, so I was like, maybe this is kosher in your relationship, but I just wanted to let you know. I unfollow him at the same time that I message her. He keeps responding to my IG stories. So he hasn't even clocked that I unfollowed him. It's been 3 days and she hasn't answered. Started stressing me out so much, I was getting prepared to send her a note via pigeon carrier. I don't fucking know. And then she responded and she was like, yeah, this is not kosher in our relationship. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I also don't want to misrepresent the situation. So I send her all of our DMs. I send her all of our text messages. I also follow up and I'm like, I'm sorry if any of this was flirty because I thought we were going to like grab coffee. I thought he was single. She was like, no, you're all good. Said, which was so sweet. He gave you no indication that he was in a relationship, so I really don't blame you. I said, love you. And I was like, hey, are you okay? If you need anything, I'm here. I know we don't know each other, but here for you, girl. She might have lost her fiance, but maybe she'll make a good friend instead. I don't know if they've talked about it. We will see. My eyes are was not sure about him. The whole situation was weird. But basically, I found out that he's spreading a rumor to people in his friend group that I cheated on him with Drake. I've never met Drake a day in my life. Drake DM'd me once about a potential stream collab. It didn't even end up happening. Not help but laugh. I'm so sorry. That is genuinely insanity. But yeah, I guess some people just so desperately need to be the victim in a situation. They will literally just lie about you. They will make up some sort of delusion. It's almost scary. Next time a guy talks to me, I'm gonna hire a private investigator. Anyways, this was a good lesson in being careful in who I allow into my life, even just a little bit. And the fact that I've learned over the years that if people want to believe something bad about you, it could be the most insane thing, and they will believe it. Hope you enjoyed my little life update. If you guys would want more of these, let me know in the comments.
So yeah, this woman came up with this whole entire logical fallacy that this guy being nice to her, not because of her power and status as a huge Twitch streamer and just social media star in general that he could use to, you know, boost his career. No, he just wanted to fuck her. There was no other reason why he was nice to Pokimane. He just wanted to fuck her. There's nothing else, no other reason why he would be nice to Pokimane. And, you know, play into her little cutesy games, because Pokimane, whenever she talks to any guy, she tries her best to do these little flirtatious little cutesy things, right? She always says these little cutesy things. She talks that little cutesy baby voice to almost any man she perceives that she might like. So the guy probably was just playing into that, just like, I'm trying to get this collaboration. This bitch, God, she won't come out to, I don't know, New York, where the hell this person lives, to do this collaboration. I guess I got to fly with her. So instead of her just cutting off the relationship there, she wanted to basically ruin his life, right? Because she perceived him as cheating. Now, after that post of people saying, you know, Ellum, the person that you're paying for his apartment for, you know, I'm gonna be honest here, that's kind of weird, by the way. She's paying for this motherfucker's apartment, or at least half of this motherfucker's apartment, and she doesn't quote unquote live there. That's weird. That is really, I don't care how good of a friend you are, bro, that is weird. It's like you are paying for a man on top of that apartment and you don't live there. That's sugar mama behavior, by the way, chat. I don't care how good of a friend I am with you or how rich I am, I'm not paying for a half of your apartment and I don't live there. Get that shit the fuck out of here. But after people were alluding to Ellum cheated on his girlfriend, then Pokimane had to put out the theatrics, alright? She had to act like she doesn't know what's going on. She's feigning ignorance, alright? This woman is so tapped in with all of the streamer drama, but as soon as this had something to do with her friendships, what's happening? I don't know what's going on. Oh, I got dementia. Because she posted this in the TikTok comments. Pokimane said, "Hi guys, I've seen your comments and have talked to the people involved. I take this stuff seriously, but won't be discussing someone else's past relationships publicly. I appreciate y'all looking out for me." Bro, really? You won't be discussing someone's past relationship publicly? Really? Really? What was those other TikToks you made talking about some random guy that you met that you didn't even know if he was or wasn't single, that you talked to for less than a month? And then you saw him getting married to his fiance, or at least, you know, proposing to her, and then you outed him as quote unquote perceived as cheating? Okay, then. You guys see the hypocrisy, right? You guys see this, right? This is some bullshit right here, all right? This is some fucking bullshit. This woman really out here doing a whole heel turn talking about I'm not going to talk about other people's relationships publicly. Oh my God, get this bitch out of here. And then on top of that, don't get me wrong, chat, right? Cheating is bad. You shouldn't cheat on people. But I don't think it should ruin a friendship. Like, don't get me wrong. Is cheating bad? Yes, obviously. But if you're friends with someone and they cheated, are you really going to be like, hey, man, we had like a good 10-year friendship right there, but then you cheated on your girl. Hey, man, I can't co-sign that. Our friendship is over. You cheated on her. You cheated on me. Now I've been cheated on. Unless Pokimane is probably in a, let's all be honest here, relationship herself with Ellum, a little fling. Because again, brother, paying for someone's apartment that you don't live in is really it. There are billionaires who don't do that for their own children sometimes. There are literal billionaires that don't do that for their own children. You're telling me this woman is just good enough friends with this man, by the way? I'm gonna be honest, she hates men. She has this weird obsession with trying her best to make men look dumb. But this one man, you are so willing to pay for his apartment? His apartment alone, you're willing to pay for and not live there. Some people can just have it all. Like, if they aren't fucking, bro still fucking lucky as hell he found some random chick to be his sugar mama. And if they are fucking, bro gets a free apartment and some pussy. Come on, get the fuck out of here. Literally, if Ellum didn't have Pokimane, he would be back in the UK broke. Just like iDubbbz and Anissa. Boys, click this video right here. They are very much broke. Their house has been drowning them in debt. But other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.